I'm Samantha Hart with Lighting Magazine, and I'm here at Lightivation 2021 in Dallas to check out the latest trends in lighting. Right now, I'm heading over to meet with Cathy Choi of Bulbrite Industries to get the inside scoop on choosing the perfect light bulb. Cathy, I'm so happy to be here to get answers to some questions that I have had for a really long time, and I don't think I'm the only person who walks down the light bulb aisle at a store and feels completely overwhelmed and intimidated. So you're going to help us make sense of all of that, right?
Yes, I know it can be super confusing to shop for a light bulb, and I try to simplify it by asking two very basic questions. Number one, is it going to fit? The second thing to think about is, will I love the light? And there's a couple things to think about in regards to loving the light. One is it the brightness that I want? And brightness is measured in lumens, and I know lumens is a new word that's very confusing for people. So lumens is a measurement of brightness. That's the easiest way to say. So think about your old-fashioned light bulb. I like a 40 watt, I like a 60 watt, I like a 75 watt. So if you look for the lumens that are related to that on a package, that's the easiest way to figure out the lumens that you need. The second thing to think about is the shade of white that's measured in Kelvin temperature. And I like to think about it from like a paint swatch. So imagine like all those different shades of white when you go to a paint store. Some of them are a little bit cooler in nature, some of them a little bit warmer in nature. So that's one of the key things to look for.
That's a great analogy with the paint swatch. I'd never thought about it that way. And I know that Kelvin is your color temperature, and it's measured like in the thousands, but there is kind of a cheat to know if you're just looking to create that warm, soft light that you're familiar with from, say, a 40 watt incandescent bulb.
Right.
What is the Kelvin number that you should be looking for?
Right. So the Kelvins range somewhere between 2,000 and 6,500. I like to start with 3,000 as sort of like the middle of the road. So that's a neutral white. If you like a little softer, warmer, incandescent, even candlelight, you go lower than 3,000 to 2,700 or even 2,200. If you want a crisper, whiter light to do your homework or some sort of task lighting, you can go up to 4,000 or even up to 5,000 and 6,500.
And all of this information is on the back of the box. So you actually have your lighting facts if you're paying attention, because it tells you how many lumens this is, whether it's warm or cool, how many Kelvin. So we need to just get more comfortable reading this.
Exactly. It's an education process, no different than a nutrition label. So we're trying to train ourselves to learn that lumens is a measure of brightness, right? And then Kelvin is a measure of that sort of shade of white, like that color temperature that I like to refer to.
And let's talk a little bit about application, because you have mentioned it a bit, but obviously it's different choosing a light bulb for, say, a kitchen or a bathroom than choosing something for a space that's like a cozy den where you might be hanging out watching movies. How can you get it right based on your room?
Exactly. So one of the big light bulb boo-boos that I've seen a lot is that this household bulb is put in every application possible. So imagine this is in your table lamp, it's in your floor lamp, and it's in your ceiling like this.
I don't have to imagine it because that's my house, except maybe the ceiling. I might have done better in the ceiling, but the rest of it, I love that bulb.
Right, so this has a place and time for everything. And in the ceiling, for example, you want to go with a reflector because these are meant to be burned face up in a ceiling. And if, let's say in the kitchen, if your daughter's having a hard time seeing her computer doing her homework, or you're chopping onions and you can't see that well, that's because you need a special type of reflector to help push the light for task-related options. So it is important to find the right bulb for the right application.
It seems, though, that a lot of homeowners, myself included, are still hesitant to make that leap from incandescent to LED. It's just that familiarity thing. And what can you tell them about the advantages of LED and why it is worth just moving forward and moving on to LED?
Well, the number one thing is that it's very energy efficient. So imagine this light bulb, which if I didn't tell you it was LED inside, you wouldn't know by the look of it. Instead of consuming, let's say, 100 watts, is consuming something like 10 watts. So imagine your electricity bill, right? And you have a couple of these in your home. So that's the first and foremost. And then it also lasts a lot longer. So this is lasting anywhere between 10, 15, 20 years versus the bulbs that you're probably switching out every couple of months on an incandescent.
I feel like I'm constantly switching out light bulbs. And the other advantage too is it's dimmable, because I think not everyone understands that LEDs have the same dimming capabilities as your standard incandescent.
Yes, so now the technology has come a long way where now LEDs are dimmable with a variety of different types of dimmers. So be sure to look for a dimmable LED product to get the light that you love.
Well, I'm feeling a lot more confident walking down that light bulb aisle and a lot better informed thanks to this conversation. It has been really enlightening, and I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me at Lightivation 2021. We've had a great time checking out the latest trends in lighting. To learn more, find an ALA member showroom near you or visit alalighting.com.